Hello guys and welcome to the answers for the Andrew Osborne trivia quiz. So obviously I gave you this quiz about a week ago and I said keep your answers, don't put them in the comments, and I'll give you the answer in a few weeks. And also I'm going to go through misconceptions, how I try to trick you out, and also determine how well you did. So we're just going to put the first question on the board for you. Just make sure to freeze it as well. Where was my first radar toilet filmed? Can I tell you all of these three places at one point have had a radar lock on the door. Now, at one point doesn't mean they do now, obviously. The correct answer is this one. This one was filmed first, this one was filmed second, and this one was filmed third. However, this one, they removed the radar lock a few years ago during the COVID-19 pandemic, and now they've just installed a standard one. This one, when they rebuilt the building, the new one doesn't have one. Therefore, meaning it is this one. So there again, that's how I tried to trick you on that one, because a few of the questions I have tried to sort of trick you on, just to try and see if you remember. Obviously it was a long time ago, and I probably had about 1 or 2 viewers back then anyway. Right, so let's just move on, let's just freeze as well. Right, which town was my first away from home video filmed? Should be filmed in. Now, away from home, there we go, I'll give you a definition. So, that is not away from home, that is one of my local towns. These two are, this was in June of 2022, and this was in December of 2021. Now, I've not done a mean thing and left the town out, therefore the answer is A, Chesterfield. I'll give that a tick. Lovely. Right, next question, and we're just going to unfreeze the screen and freeze. What was my last rare hand dry find of 2021? So there again, we're going to look at the 3 new process of elimination. This was in January 2022, meaning that was completely out of the picture. Now, if I tell, well, I mean, I've not given you any clues so far that could lead to it. So let's just tell you, this was in December of 2021, and this was also in December of 2021. This was around the 6th of December 2021, sorry, and this was the 29th, meaning the last rare find is this, and I've not left any more out. Now you could say that quarry I found in the exact same place was a rare dryer, but it's not used much, however it is still on sale, whereas the June is discontinued. The quarry can be found a lot often, it's just only independent places that use it, because obviously not many places will rely on that, and there are better quarry dryers that you can use on cheaper. Unfreeze. Now, all of these stores have had small problems in it, that's what I said I was going to tell you but didn't. So obviously this one, was the underage, alleged. This one was walking through, because obviously, if you don't know, we've in the community, in the House of Fraser talk, where we all talk about House of Fraser. Flannels is part of that, it's part of the newer posher one, so obviously they see me in there and it causes trouble. Now the answer was this one, where I had an empty plastic bottle from a different shop that was very clearly not Marks and Spencer's. And he said, "You're going to pay for what's in that bag?" And I said, "You know what, it's from a different shop." And ever since, I don't believe I've spent anything in the Marks. Actually, no, that's a lie. I did spend one thing in the Marks and Spencer. But anyway, so all of those. But there again, the question says August 2022. This was in. No, it was very early, so it was like the 2nd of September. Or 2nd and 3rd, because they said on the 3rd that they saw me in there on the 2nd, because I came in 2 days around. This one was October of 2021, but actually the time I went to film was also June of 2022. And now this one was, of course, August of 2022. So anyway, month-wise, the only one that could have counted is the week before. Just explaining misconceptions as we go, so I need to unpause and pause when it wants to load. Brilliant. Name as many places as you can that said either a rare odd one out or rare for company dries out. Oh, now Now. I've made this tricky for myself because I forgot that had been replaced by the time I visited. I forgot to read you that out in the question, because otherwise, if you're rare for the company dryers, let's see what we've had. We've had the King Wee at Dobbies, XAUs at Morrison's and Sabres, and we've also had an A there as well in the Sabres. We've had the Hotline in the M&S, and we've also had the Dandelions in the McDonald's. Now, I'm sure if you would have answered it in the wrong thing that I said was the right thing, but actually wasn't, then if you've got more than this, or of course if you've got different ones, then if you're not too sure if you want to count, comment below if you're really interested in your proper score. Now, of course, if I would have read the question correctly, then what I would have given you, the main one that comes to my head was the RAs at the Yorkshire Wildlife Park, which were now replaced with Kimmeys, and also the HK 400 at Dobbies, which was also replaced with the Aussie brand, the Kimmy. Funny enough, they're both the same thing. And of course, among others, just allow me to think of those others now. I believe they used to be quite at K2008s in the Burger King. But there again, most of those are franchise, that's not really a rare dryer. That's well, not really odd one outs or rare for the company. There was the View ones that had both been gone, but the thing with that is they were company used at the time. It's just they stopped using them quickly because they've gone through 4 hand dryers in the last under 10 years. Let's move on to the final question. Pause and pause. My top 3 dryers. One is the PHS Ultra Dry LE. Oh my god, guys, epic branding. No, of course, there's probably someone out there that likes one, doesn't like the other, because of simply LE or the second. There's surely someone not even part of the hand dryer community. Let's say they find it faulty the second and they hate every the second, and obviously that theory's been used before. Number two and number 3 now. There was two left here. One was the Accelerator. I know quite a lot of people won't agree with this. The reason I like it is because as a child I was very, very scared of it because of the easy setting off and always had bad motors. But now as I'm growing older, they've been rare to find and they've been quite unique, and they're not the quickest, but they're good to use, and their replacements are often meh. So good job finding one of them. Second, it's going to have to be the Smart Dry. Now, I've found something before. Actually, the first time I used them was at Gatwick in recess. Before, like literally, we're talking under a week before I filmed that McDonald's faulty video, which in turn was about half a month before I started filming at Gatwick, where the Savile sections were. They used to have recessed smart dryers in the main toilets. Well, obviously, the unrefurbished ones used to have non-recessed, but the refurbished ones have recessed and now have Savitex. I use one. They're good hand dryers. And the third I rate as this as top in my end of year video for 2021. It was the Accelerator, however you want to pronounce it, or Excelsior if you're not a fan of hand dryers and don't know what you're talking about. Excelsior. Now this was because this isn't, well, I mean they're both rare, but this is slightly more common to find, and I just think that this is quite a unique find anyway. But the smart dryers there again, you mostly find them at centre parks, but with the PHS Airstream Whisper invasion, then it's hard to find. So now, so obviously this is the last slide from before. It's an old one. That's a good look. I premiere the answers to them. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this series. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you want to do another quiz, comment below and I'll do it. Thank you very much for watching. Now.